Grace.
Grace and Grace.
Today we're doing part 2. We've got a lot of questions to answer. We've got
our gap year video.
And I hope you liked the first part. I actually feel like this part's going to be better.
Yeah,
so I feel like we're going to answer like some niche, like, we could like share some stories. We can
see what you guys want to hear.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Was it expensive? How do you afford it? Money side of things. We're going to answer. So we afforded it by basically just spending our savings, because we worked from the age of 12. We've been doing like YouTube jobs, and we were just like, you know what, for 1 year of our life we're gonna just spend what we earn and spend our money.
Yeah.
I haven't added up exactly what my accountant told me, but I just chose to block it out. I did not want to know how much was spent, because I was like, do you know what, I'm so young and it's 1 year of my life. Money comes back, time doesn't.
We live at home, so we've not had to spend like rent or anything like that, so we've been able to save up quite a big chunk of money. I'm going to go to uni, so we didn't spend any money there, so yeah, we basically just saved for 5 years. And we didn't budget, really.
We just kind of...
Well, actually, we picked quite reasonable hotels.
Like the hotels,
and
we were like, we don't need to be frivolous with hotels.
So we didn't stay in the nicest or like Airbnbs or hotels at all. But we spent more of our money like at restaurants, bars.
We went
clubbing.
to like the nice places, because that was our idea of like enjoying.
Like for us, we'd rather spend more money at restaurants and bars than on the hotels.
Because we're not going to spend long in the hotel. Although we went to some really nice ones. Like I just feel like you don't need to, especially in places like Italy, and like how cute was our hotel. We didn't spend ridiculous amounts, and we had the breakfast in the morning, and like the little garden bit. Like you just don't.
We saved quite a lot on the hotels.
Yeah.
We could have gone to like way nicer ones, but we really tried to cut back there.
Yeah, like we never flew with like British Airways. We'd always do like Ryanair.
Yeah, Ryanair was like
EasyJet.
our go-to, because it was the cheapest. But yeah, that's how I'd say we managed to afford it, but we did spend quite a lot of money, unfortunately.
I just don't want to know how much.
Yeah,
in
we
total.
choose to not.
We just don't add it up, because we're like, do you know what, number one, it's investment, because we like filmed content.
Yeah, we worked the whole time.
Exactly.
So we made money back as well as we went on the gap year.
So we were kind of working on the trips as well. Like we did loads of content and stuff. So you could.
It was like a investment.
What country have you felt the safest as young women travelling?
And should you unsay this?
Yeah,
this is controversial though, because in our last video we said we didn't feel safe in Barcelona. Everyone came for us.
Everyone's like, Barcelona is so safe. Well,
I just want to disclaimer. This is our experience personally. This is how we felt in the countries. All right. Everyone has different experiences. Most safe. Oh, Stockholm.
Oh my god, I felt
Stockholm.
so safe in Stockholm.
Yeah.
Like it was just like a little playground. Like I just felt so. Obviously, crime probably does happen, but like. We walked around like 4 in the morning, just us two, like
YOLO.
I felt so safe there.
As safe as I feel in my little village hometown is how I felt in Stockholm, and also Capri, because there's 0 crime rate, so I felt really safe in Capri. My unsafest is a toss up between LA and Barcelona, because I feel like I don't actually know why we keep saying Barcelona, but I agree with you.
I don't know what it is.
I think it's because number one, we were quite young when we went.
No, but then we went back with.
I didn't feel as unsafe.
I don't feel unsafe, but it still had the same energy of like.
I think because it's such like where we went in Barcelona, we didn't go to like well we did, but we were going for a party holiday. Therefore, we were in like a bit rougher ends at like 4 AM. Whereas if you just went on a nice holiday to Barcelona, you'd be fine. But,
yeah,
you know, we were out late in a bit dodgy areas.
Yes, maybe that's what it is.
You know. Oh, and probably Amsterdam. I didn't feel unsafe, but it is very laddie.
Any situations you feel uncomfortable in? So can we think of any stories? Like, well, we were chased in Milan, we were chased in Paris, we were chased in
New York.
So we just had to like run away.
I think that
Uber in LA.
Oh yeah, we nearly killed in an Uber.
We nearly killed an Uber. He just was going ignoring all of the signs.
Yeah, he was speeding and he was weaving and not looking when he would like go in the next lane, and he started crying.
I did the sign of the cross.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not that religious. I was like.
The other time I would say is when we came from. I can't remember where we were trying to get to Priano in the Amalfi Coast, and the like journey to try and get a taxi It was so long. Like, if I can give you one piece of advice, it's pre-book your taxis. If you're like doing the Amalfi Coast or the south of France, pre-book everything.
Oh, it was awful. It was raining.
Awful.
It was.
We had to wait about 2 hours for a taxi. There was one coming every like half an hour, and I was so stressed that one just wasn't going to come, because then what do you do? And it was getting dark. It was night time.
What's been the place you both grew to understand a life more the most?
What does that even mean? Grew to understand a life more?
Understand life, so like opened your eyes the most to the world, or like you learnt the most.
You go first.
Well, for me it would have to be one of the places we did a month in, because like it was like living on your own in a new city. So
I was going to say Paris, the month in Paris.
Probably the month in Paris, because it was the first one.
Yeah.
But then also New York, because New York is so big and overwhelming.
I think
But
Paris,
then I feel like New York,
like when we went to
English
Paris,
and, like,
you couldn't even make pasta. You were like, do I boil the water before I make pasta? You couldn't do washing machine. You couldn't wash things up. Like, you didn't know how to do anything.
and like everything was really scary, because like
Yeah, like we hadn't used like a foreign tube system.
in terms of like, well, like meeting people, like have we ever met anyone that's like changed our perspective?
No.
No.
Have you ever met anyone that's changed your perspective?
No, that's
not at all. Maybe. No, I would just say Paris, because I learned the most stuff about moving out and doing all that, like being independent.
One place you wanted to go but didn't get a chance to go?
For
me,
you go first.
it was probably Greek island hopping,
That's what I was gonna say.
because we did actually plan to go Greek island hopping, but it just never happened. And we'd actually been the year before to Skiathos anyway,
Yeah.
so we were like,
We
I
just
think
ran out of time.
we looked at doing Mykonos and it was just too expensive. But I feel like Mykonos is more of like a tourist destination. Like I would want to do proper, like, obviously I would want to go to Mykonos maybe for a couple of days, but I would want to like get all the ferries across all of the Greek islands, like do a proper like.
I think we
Mamma
looked
Mia
at
summer.
We had like 2 weeks off where we weren't travelling, and we looked at it, but it was just going to work out
The
so
flights
expensive.
were like, the flights were ridiculous, so we just left it, because we were looking at doing Mykonos, and like Mykonos is pretty expensive, or Santorini. But I feel like it would be so fun to plan it one summer and do like Mykonos, Santorini, and then the cute like little like authentic ones that not many tourists go to. Like I'd love to go back to Skiathos as well. I'd love to do like just proper like a whole like 2 or 3 weeks of it, and go proper Greek island hopping. So
yeah.
maybe one year we could do that.
Also, originally when we actually planned our gap year like 2 years ago, we were meant to start with Australia and
Yeah,
Bali.
we're gonna go to
which is
Australia
so
and Bali.
funny.
Imagine us like starting.
I don't
with
think
that.
we would go to Australia together, would we?
Well,
It's not really a trip we would probably go to. But it's not. I'm not like I need to go to Australia.
No, I'm not desperate to go, because I just feel like
no.
it's not really my vibe. I actually went when I was like 7, and my parents were gonna move there. That's how much I loved it. So like I feel like it is amazing.
It's just not on my list for now, but in some point I'll go Australia and Bali.
I also would really like to go to Japan. I really want to go to Tokyo.
We always say this. We love to go to Japan, but
Like
with
Shanghai.
someone that's been.
Shanghai sounds so cool as well. Like Asia would be so. Thailand is another place I want to go, but that was never planned on the gap year. That was never planned on the gap year. So like,
I would go to Japan, but with someone that's been to Japan.
yeah,
Like imagine us two in Japan. That'd be
I would just
a
want to.
shit show.
I'd probably want to go with like
A boyfriend.
a dad or a boyfriend.
We say this. Same with Dubai. I'd want to go to Dubai with a
it just
boyfriend.
kind of
it's
scares
not with me and Grace.
Although I think Japan is really safe.
No, Japan's really safe, but it's just so different. That
Yeah,
I would want
like,
to
I
go
just-
with someone that's been to Japan before.
Or Shanghai looks really cool, like really modern. Or even, what's the other place? Singapore. I want to go somewhere cool like that, but again, that was never planned on the gap year. The only place that we planned to go and didn't go was Greece, and then Australia. We kind of just never really spoke about Australia.
No, it was a pipeline.
It was a pipeline dream.
It was a pipeline dream. Everywhere else we managed to do though.
I feel like Australia's the sort of place you could even do at like 40.
Yeah, there's no rush.
There's no rush to do it. Do you think that your style has changed since living in a particular city? So like, what city, I'm going to turn this question around, what city has influenced your style the most? Like, what city do you think had the best fashion, most inspired by?
I'd say New York probably, because there everyone dresses crazy. Everyone dresses how they want. There is no judgment. Whereas in Paris, there's a lot more judgment if you try and dress crazy. I feel like it was a lot more fun to dress in New York compared to like Paris. Or even Milan was a lot more fun as well.
For me, like Milan, there was so many chic older women.
Fur coat vibes.
They would just put like cool colours together. But But obviously my style is French, like my style is
beige,
influenced by Paris the most.
Yeah.
And like walking around I was like, oh my god, this is what I want to dress like. So I feel like, especially in the last year, like I've become more beige with my
yeah,
I've become more like minimal,
neutral,
chic, whereas I used to wear like
pink
and more get like sparkly things, I don't know. But I've become more like Paris. But like it was the most interesting being in, I would say Stockholm girls had really good style as well. And Milan, I found them to be the most fun and the most cool people. But for my style, Paris, that's how I would describe it. Saint-Tropez was cool as well, but that's not city. And that's mainly like people that go there to, like tourists.
Yeah.
It's not really the style of Saint-Tropez.
No.
You did get a lot of chic people in New York as well.
Like, yeah, there's a lot of
carry
very
bunches.
rich.
Yeah, that's just
very rich, like Fifth Avenue people as well.
Yeah, I like the Fifth Avenue.
It's a good mixture.
Style. So you get like a mix of everything in New York, because I feel like New Yorkers always go for like trips to Paris and they probably get influenced by it as well. Which country had the best dating culture? And I also saw one about what country had the hottest boys, so we can answer boy related ones together. The best dating, I mean, nowhere has a good dating culture, let's get real. Boys are just, they don't know how to treat women. But if we had to say the best of a bad bunch, everybody visits Paris at some point, so you get so many people from all around, whereas New York, I feel like it's more New Yorkers because it's really far away from Europe. So I actually think New York, because it's the most fun as well. I feel like they do, I mean, I feel like Americans are going to be like, definitely not, but I feel like Americans actually do know how to treat.
They're very like, they're very old school, they're very gentlemanly.
Yeah, they're quite gentlemanly, but then I've also heard that like a lot of the dating culture is you literally date hundreds of people and you just kind of sleep around. That is the culture of New York, is that you just go on a date and you're seeing like 5 different people at the same time, which I think is the same for a lot of cities, but I feel like maybe Europe is more like you date one person, or like you date a couple of people at once, you do a couple of dates a week and then you decide who out of the people that you date that you want to see again. So I feel like maybe New York, on the actual dates, they know how to treat you better, they like are more gentlemanly, but then actually in Europe it's more like you're dating to get a boyfriend. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I feel like New York,
but that's why I think the dating scene's way more fun in New York.
Yeah, because everyone's
you go on more, everyone's up for a good time, it's not as deep.
Yeah,
everyone, you just kind of go on a date for a laugh. You're not really thinking this is going to be your boyfriend or your husband.
Yeah, it's more chill.
The hottest boys of Stockholm.
The hottest boy. Oh my god, Stockholm was just,
it was like
a different level.
It was like a bloody modelling agency.
Because not only are they like beautiful, they know how to dress,
and they're tanned and they're blonde and
they've got good hair. Best food, because you guys know we live for food.
Milan or the Amalfi Coast, I'd have to say.
It's got to be Italy, hasn't it? But then we did eat good brunch foods in Stockholm. Like the breakfast and brunches in Stockholm were just incredible.
And New York. Oh, like New York, they're known for diners, which I absolutely love.
I feel like I ate so much cheese in New York.
Grilled cheese
like
every day. And bagels every day, and crumble cookie. Because it's American, there's really good sweets,
so much fun food,
cookies and cheesecake. But I would actually have to say Milan on the Amalfi Coast.
Oh, for sure.
Amalfi Coast, because it was hot, so we had lots of wine, lots of gelato, lots of,
oh my god, everything was just heavenly. And like even like the hotels would all have a really cute like buffet breakfast.
Honey, they love honey.
I live for buffet breakfast.
Yeah, whereas Milan it was more like pasta pizza. You know, both good 100%. In their own rights. Tiramisu, you know.
Don't even. Friendliest place? Friendliest, I would honestly probably say New York.
Yeah, New York or, yeah, do you know what, New York?
New York.
I was saying Milan, but New York probably.
I feel like
all the staff like was so nice to us.
The staff were lovely, and then we'd also get talking to people in restaurants, which didn't really happen anywhere else.
Oh my gosh, yes. Americans are really bubbly and really chatty.
They almost like, they just want to talk to you. Like they want to know like, what's your story? Like,
yeah, you'll literally just be sat there and there'll be a couple and the next day they'll be like, girls!
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa. That is not
this is bold.
Brits do not do that. They'll just tell you to do one if you try and look at them.
Like it actually changed. I feel like over here, I saw a TikTok and it was like, why do English people dislike Americans so much? And it actually really made me like Americans more going to America, because I feel like they're so much more friendly. I don't know.
Yeah, we've got a really positive energy about them.
Yeah.
They're very upbeat, they're there for a good time.
Was there a place that surprised you being better than you thought? For me it was probably Cannes. Because I just didn't really know much about Cannes, and I thought, oh, is this going to be a bit... I don't know, I just didn't really know what to think of it, and actually I would go back to Cannes over Nice.
For me, I would say Saint-Tropez.
Did you have low expectations?
No, I didn't have low expectations, but I thought Saint-Tropez would literally just be beach clubs and clubbing. I didn't expect it to be as villagey and pretty as it is. Like, it's actually like a really tiny village.
It's so pretty.
And it's way pretty. Like, I didn't think it'd be as pretty. I thought it'd just be more like beach clubs. Like, it really shocked me how stunning it is.
Like, I really want to go back to South France to do like different parts of it, because there's loads of villages we didn't go to that are like not touristy.
Yeah,
and like
we definitely have to go back.
Maybe this summer if we can just get the train like for 20 quid.
We can get from Paris, guys.
We'll be going. If you could do it all over again, what would you do differently? If only we could do it all over again. Like,
oh yeah, it was quite draining though.
Yeah,
like we would come back
it would
and be
be
like
whoa, next week,
because we'd work every single day when we were out there, so we'd come back and be like, fuck me, that's draining. That if we could do it all over again, what would we do? What a question.
I mean, we've said our favourite places, but like, is there a specific moment, like
if
a specific
I could do
night?
it all over again,
I would do the night in Capri.
Why?
Because it was fun.
But no, what would you do differently?
Oh, okay. Oh, maybe we could do differently then all over again. Probably to save money and effort, just do boat trips, do ferry trips to the places in Amalfi Coast rather than lug our suitcases round.
But we did, didn't we? We did Sorrento, Capri was ferry.
And then we did Praiano. No, we would get the ferry to then stay there. Whereas I would probably just stay in Sorrento and then just do a day trip.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Save, and then we could have just stayed at that hotel.
Yeah, we travelled around for nights.
Which was really cute and fun, but the suitcase thing was just...
Yeah.
Lugging a suitcase around. That's probably what I would do differently.
If I was to do another gap year, I would do more like Bali and more like, I don't know, crazy places. But also I like that this was more like a Europe gap year, you know?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't redo it and change it to be more like
I would do
a
whole different gap year.
Yeah, if I could do another gap year. And the other thing I was thinking is, it's really boring, but just pre-booking taxis and shit like that, because you're going to save yourself a lot of money.
I would do Milan a different time of year because of the clubbing thing and because of it being really cold. Like, I loved Milan.
But I don't know what we would have done in January. Because January's a shite month.
That's when people go to Australia.
Yeah, we had such a great gap year. We hope you guys enjoyed like watching it.
It's so sad that it's over.
But what a new chapter we're gonna have soon.
So like, we're gonna bring you all along. But comment videos you want to see, because
well, before we leave, let us know what you guys want to see. And we'll see you guys next video.
Bye.